The Real Housewives of Potomac's 5th season is underway, and our producer Sam Belikoff caught up with the Grand Dame herself, Karen Huger, to get her take on all the drama to come this season. And there is a lot. Watch this.
Who from the cast surprised you the most this season for the best?
I'd have to say Ashley. Ashley, the growth I see in Ashley, it really surprised me, and I'm very happy for her. Motherhood looks great on Ashley. Yep.
What about for the worst?
I'd have to say, of course, that's Gizelle. It was very frustrating to work with her this year. She was so closed off, but she's always asking everyone to be so open so she can have, take digs at their lives. But when it's time for her to open up, she becomes very guarded. And it was very uncomfortable and very, stressful, if you will. But I just shook that off and just made it about, what it was I was bringing. And anytime I was with Gizelle, I just understood that she was just not in a good place. Not in a good place.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I think Gizelle's life is about to open up in front of the world. She's been masterful in not sharing anything really personal about herself for the last 5 years. Now the camera is on her. And I think, she knows that this is just the first year of it opening up on her life. And I think she's very uncomfortable and very frightened about people's opinions about her private life.
When you talk about being open, I'm curious, we've seen you in this season be very open about your relationship with Ray, and from the looks of the trailer, that continues. Is that something new that you've been experiencing this season, or was it more of a comfort with opening up to the ladies and the camera? Like, where was your mindset with that?
I think what made me comfortable was, listen, this is reality TV. And, the fans tune in to see my truth. And I can't be scripted. I don't need prompting. And the truth is, when the cameras started rolling, Ray and I were struggling, and we had to share that. And so what made me comfortable was knowing that the power I have to maybe help a younger couple if they're facing this, or perhaps, a mature couple facing these blocks in the roads or these trials. I was not about to fake my way through it. I was about pushing through and being completely honest and transparent. But I think I've always been honest and transparent. I just have so many opinions about my life in this cast membership, if you will, that sometimes in the past that will get lost. I think what you see in me now is I'm not letting anything about Karen Huger get lost in translation. I bring it. So it's my life, it's my truth to tell.
So I don't want to, give away too much of the season, but we do see in the trailer that you have it seems a bit of a breakdown, emotional opening. I'm curious, how are you and Ray today? And do things get better before they get worse? Like what was prompting that moment, if you could tease?
Well, first, I don't call it a breakdown. What I call it is a breakthrough. And what better place than to be with your friends and have that moment, and hopefully out of all those women, at least one steps up to the moment and is there for you when you're in your most vulnerable situation. So you'll get to see that play out, and that was a very real moment for me, and I'm honored that I did have a friend or two there.
One of the delights of this season has been seeing you react to Monique's bird, T'Challa. What do you really think of that bird?
T'Challa and I, we're taking it one day at a time. I'm not a bird lover, but I never thought I'd be that close to a bird either. So, if I can work it out with Gizelle for 5 years, I can give T'Challa a chance, but, I'm not feeling the bird right now.
What was going on in your head at that moment?
I'm like, the bird got a sixth sense, don't he? I'm like, this bird is like, okay, I'm going for the problem in the room.
So speaking of,
Wendy's a fun girl, but that you can't script that. That's reality TV at its best. So
delicious.
Me and T'Challa were on the same sheet. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about, Wendy? This is really strange. And T'Challa was like, yeah, girl, I feel you. And bam.
So talking about things that Wendy was talking about, someone tweeted, Wendy is so eager to talk about Karen's sex life, and you replied, why? I'm scared, LOL. What do you think is up with her comments?
I really am. The obsession is, first of all, I don't understand the obsession. It's every episode. And I'm like, wow. It's a little scary because everyone knows I'm a married woman. I'm questioning, what are her intentions? Do we need to have a conversation? It gets to be uncomfortable at a certain point, and it's not a good look for Wendy, given her accolades. And I'm really proud of Wendy. I mean, she has degrees out the yin yang, but it's not a good look to be so interested in, you know, someone who she's just meeting sex life.
Yeah.
It's not cool. It's uncomfortable. It's like Wendy said, hello, are you having sex? My name's Wendy. I'm like, alrighty, I'm with you. Hi, Wendy. I don't know. Just stay tuned. But it's uncomfortable.
I interviewed Gizelle, and she told me that there was a specific reason they all found out why you didn't get along with Wendy. Would you agree with that
We
statement?
got to stay tuned. You got to, you know, listen, that's again, Gizelle talked about my life. And now Wendy's, because that involves Wendy and I. And we have to see how that story unfolds. I say stay tuned. Some people will say if it does come out, or even if it doesn't, say it does, we'll handle it. But if it doesn't, you'll see two grown women agree to move on and still have a good time. Wendy and I give some fun moments.
So my last Wendy question, in another interview, Wendy said that you gave yourself away by saying you're not impressed with her. She was saying it essentially implies you have preconceived notions about her because people don't normally meet to have an intention of being impressed with them. What's your response to that?
I think Wendy is really confused about what it is I'm not impressed about, but she's really not. Aha, that leads back to your last question. Wendy knows, first of all, let me put it on record. I'm extremely proud of Wendy's academic accolades. That's powerful, and she's a Black woman doing a dang thing. Congratulations. But her accolades, academic achievement, is not what I'm not impressed with. Stay tuned. And Wendy knows that. She knows what it is.
I spoke with Gizelle, and she told me that your relationship with her, that you're not in a good place right now. And then at the end of the season, she said that you did something to her that she would never do to you. So we don't want to spoil the show, but what's your reaction or response to that?
First of all, I'm shocked that she has the gumption to have those words fly out of her mouth. I have never done anything to Gizelle. I didn't print a t-shirt when she decided to go back to Jamal. She did that to me. I didn't call Jamal Uncle Ben. She called my husband Uncle Ben. In my opinion, Gizelle should just be grateful that I am, you know, kind enough to forgive her and even speak to her. Through the years, if we look at what Gizelle has done, her history speaks for itself. I don't need to defend myself. Gizelle is just reaching because, again, that veil about Gizelle is being pulled back and people are gonna see her for who she really is.
Yeah. Well,
and I say walk in your truth.
Well, you've always been up and down, but do you think there's hope for your friendship with her? Actually,
I'm on pause with that because if she doesn't change, I'm not sure I want someone like Gizelle to be called my friend. But she has to stop tearing down families. She has to, this season alone, you know, and I said this before, I'm not about what she's bringing to TV concerning the Samuels family. She attacked my family. Now it's the Samuels family. And it's just too much. It's disgusting. It's despicable. And I want nothing to do with it. So I don't know that I want someone like Gizelle in my life unless she does some personal work on herself and understand that you just don't do that. Not even for fun. If that's her kind of fun. It's just wrong. This is an unborn child that we're talking about this season that she's attacking, and I have a moment with that. I have not torn down one woman on this show to stand up, and I think I'm faring pretty well. How about you?
No, very well. So I just for people who like aren't super fans, I mean obsessed, but not like looking at social media all the time in their lives, because there's been a lot going on off of the show. I'm curious, you know, from watching the show, it seems like for right now, the Monique rumors, you know, Gizelle said it on camera, but it seems Charisse mainly, like, do you think that Gizelle is the main person behind the Monique rumors?
I know she is.
Yeah. Well,
let's be very clear. A lot is going on and I can't hide my hand. Well, I'm not gonna hide my hands anyway. I knew about this rumor when Monique was carrying her child. And Gizelle was trying to push this story while this child was in his mother's womb. So that is season 4. Now, at the Sip and See, people ask me, so Karen, why did you just keep asking for food? Because I wasn't at a Sip and See. I sip and I saw. I saw Gizelle lean back and ask Charisse, what did you do to Monique? What did you do to Monique? And Charisse said, I haven't done anything. And Gizelle, once again, hides her dirty hands in it. But I know the truth story. I know it all. Yeah, it's not a pretty thing, and it's got to stop. It's got to stop because rumors are not truth. Stop sitting in the confessional chairs making a rumor a truth. Now, if you have proof, then that's fine. That makes it reality. That is what this is, reality TV, not fake TV.
So we've all seen the headlines and the trailer and know there's an altercation between Monique and Candiace later this season. I interviewed Monique and she said that each of them are 50 to 50 to blame for what went down. And you're close with both of them. They're probably your two closest friends on the cast. So in the fallout, did you ever feel like you were in the middle, and was that tough for you? And do you think that they're each to blame?
I absolutely am in the middle this season, but I've said to both of them, two wrongs don't make a right. You have to do what you think is right, not what I would think is right. Of course, they both asked me for advice, or what would you do if it were you? That's a very hard position for someone like myself who really cares deeply for both of them. And I want to see them both win, but I had to be truthful. Two wrongs don't make a right. And in this instance, they both were wrong. And I tried to love and support them through that while they took whatever avenue they needed to take to remedy this hurt or this damage that they've done to one another. I did the best I could, but it was very, very difficult. And you'll see that struggle with me this season.
Yeah. So also going on this season, there's a lot of relationship drama between Ashley and Michael this season, something we dealt with last season. How much did what went down between them this time surprise you?
It's not about whether it surprised me. It was not on my radar. You know, everybody knows this. Look, Ashley just became a mother. I am a mama bear. I love family. And so it was easy for me to just switch my attention to baby Dean. So I chose to let Ashley be the capable woman I know she is and the friend that I'm growing to like a lot, and let her handle her marriage. Let her handle that situation. No better woman on this cast to handle Michael than Ashley. And I know she's very capable of that. So what I did was I minded my business and I got to know baby Dean, which is a beautiful soul, a beautiful spirit of a baby. So I took the high road on that one.
Did everyone else on the cast take the high road like you?
You have to ask them. Stay tuned. You already know the answer to that. You know the messiness on this show.
For more of Karen Huger, you can watch her on The Real Housewives of Potomac, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on Bravo.